Hi. Hello. It's me. Hey, good evening, everyone. It's almost 6 o'clock. Oh, there's my phone. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to call you. Are you there? Oops. Hey, Georgia. How are you? How is everybody? Hope everyone's doing okay. That's not it. I found something today, and I don't know if it means anything or not. Oh. Well, thank you. I don't always think about other people's schedules, but thank you very much. Hey, Bling, how are you? Oh, you're welcome, Brady. It was an interesting. I mean, it's a road I take all the time, so I just had to think about it from somebody who's never really been there and what is around, and basically nothing. There's nothing around. There wasn't a lot of money from the house that I'm going to show you. I mean, they paid more for it than they sold it for. So there was a loss on the house. You're trying to move back to Santa Barbara, moving trucks in your driveway? Oh my God. Why are you moving to Santa Barbara from the Keys? Were you renting, Antonio? Hey, 789. Hey, TS. You're here. And so good to be with you. You're leaving the Keys. I don't know about all that. Hi, Anita. So I'm not sure who's seen a tour of the Trescott home and who hasn't. Yeah, right. Well, it's really not a beautiful road. I mean, it looks beautiful from the video, but it's just so flat. And that's hard for me coming from up north. It's really, really flat. And it gets flat. The closer you get to that prison institution, the flatter it gets. It's very flat. So, and there's just nothing there. It's really in a town called Woodville area. I mean, it's very close to Woodville. Wakulla Station, it's close to. Oh, just like little villages. There's nothing there. I've never even been down that Commerce Boulevard. I believe there's some businesses down there, but I've never been. Never been. Because I have no reason to. But it is a quick way to get a ticket. Because as you come around that curve for the prison, the correctional institution, they're sitting right there. So I had to make sure my camera was really like locked down and oh, I see. Moving for a dude. Charlie does like institutions. Institute. Dude, I wonder how he's doing. I was going over all of the from 20 to 21, like who died in the prison. I was trying to see. There was one suicide in the annex. And there was someone who is listed as a murder, but it was an accident when they figured it all out. So it states accident on the incident report for the prison. There was one suicide not too long ago. I can imagine, like, that noise alone would have been enough for me. Gigi said bad rash on. Oh, yeah, you can see it. You could see it in his little mugshot. Hi, Sonny. How are you? Yeah, you can really see it on his neck. It looks like he's going to have ringworm or something. You know what I mean? It's like right here. But they do have barbers. He can get a shave from the barber. What year was that built? 98. Oh, no, it's really just a rash. And you figure, like, it's not like it has soft water there. You know what I mean? I'm sure the water is really hard, really cold. You probably don't get a lot of water pressure. I don't know, because I haven't been in a group shower in a prison before. So you've been working really hard. I won't let them move my bin patty until the last moment. You might have contempt towards people like me. Oh, you're going to Vero. Wow. Well, congratulations, Thunder Road. Congratulations on the closing. One of my new agents had their first closing today. I was very excited for him. It's always a big deal. So I was just going to go over like Trescott, and then I have Wendi's condo where she lives right now. But I thought I'd share something first because I don't even know what this is about. I've never found this before. This is a job for Wendi. Has anyone else seen this? So it says Wendi's working for St. Michael's Legal Center for Women and Children. Of course, I had to like X out the phone numbers. She's their legal liaison. It says email Wendi. I was tempted. But I had not seen this one before. Well, congratulations. It's a big deal. Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Patty, I put a link to Florida Politics Garber on your last community page. It is really beautiful in the trees. Hi, from London. Nice, Jeff. Our trees are different than your trees. Your trees are like short and hedgy. But this, like, I found this. I was just Googling Wendi, like I do just about daily. But this came up today and it hadn't come up. And it says she's working for the St. Michael's Legal Center. And she's helping the poor. She's helping the poor, okay? So how dare we? Thank you, Elizabeth. I think she's their legal center, but it's really for the poor. And they give her 72 hours to respond. I was like, huh. But yeah, they do paralegal. They speak for those who cannot speak for themselves to ensure justice for those who are perishing. Do not send an email requesting assistance. Your email will not receive a reply. St. Michael's Legal Center. They're all over the state, but she only works in the Dade County and the Dade Circuit. So I'm going to have to go in and find out if she's written a brief or anything. That's my tomorrow job. Has Wendi written a brief? Has she made a motion on anything in her life? I gotta write that down. She's on another board called Impact, IMPAC. I'll do all that tomorrow. But I thought this was interesting. I'll do all that tomorrow. I'll show you all the jobs she got. She got quite a few jobs. Hey, Chloe's mom. Good evening. Yeah, well, you could email her if you click that link, but I'm not going to email her. She's helping the poor. How dare we even think about it? Just probably to irritate her mother. Remember, she said her mother didn't like it that she wasn't really getting paid. I am also Roman Catholic, Antonio. Mike Fernandez has, well, I mean, obviously he's a billionaire, so he has a lot of things in the pot. But the one thing that he has is this thing called Impact. But there's also a Miami-Dade charity, like private-public partnership, and she's on the board of that as well. That's true, but they don't put police tape up for that 5-car. 5-car says Wendi used the fallen tree lie because during a couple of bad storms after she got the house, there were trees down everywhere on Trescott, including a tree went through the roof. But they don't put up crime scene tape. They just put out pylons. Yes, if you could, Neely. Did you see Wendi's profile in the Naya No, I've not. If you can, email me the link. Here's my email. So you have to go searching for it. Everything's a mask. Just Me Joe says she likes to bury herself and only do work that involves charity type jobs so no one can point a finger at her real life. It's all a mask. Can you imagine like going to work with her right now? I can't even imagine. Well, I'm not on board for her. So that's just me. But I thought that was interesting. So I'm going to take that down right now. I'm going to show you Trescott. I'm not going to give the full address out because, you know. Hey, True, how are you? But I found this too. Oh, let me, wait, it's going too fast. Let me go back. So the house, they sold it. She sold it because she was the guardian of the 2 boys. So she was the seller and she sold it for $281. It was up for sale for quite a few months. It was listed at $315 and then they had to reduce it. And in that period, that's when she filed for the permit that I found that showed that she lived at that 100 South Point, and I won't name the condo, so it's not bullying people through YouTube. But they originally bought the home for $312,078. $312,078. So she took a loss. So there was no profit. Somebody asked about, did the profit go to the boys? There was no profit to go to the boys because they took a loss. Because, no offense to her, her husband was murdered in the garage. And so she didn't make a profit on the house. Does that make sense? Because she is listed as by the state of Florida and the state attorney's office as a unindicted co-conspirator. And it's just a mess. So she didn't make a profit on the home. So there's no profit for her to carry to the boys. They would have had to pay the mortgage off, and whatever else went to the boys' pot. But again, so that's what happened there. So look what else I found. It's a strange house. It's a 98? It's a strange looking home from the front. I mean, it really doesn't even look like it has a 2-story, but it does have a 2-story. I'm not a fan of this facade. Like, it's not the look of this is not my jam. I don't think the posts are the right size. It bugs me because they're not equal when they look at the house. Like, you see the door here, but these posts are not equal across. It's a mess. Oh, well, thank you, Antonio. But this is really bothering me. Like, you see a post, and then the door's back here. It's not equal. Ugh. Well, they had to wait for the police to release it. She says it sat for 2.5 years. It really wasn't 2.5 years because he was murdered in July, and then the state takes it, the state holds it, and then they have a process. You can't just sell. So there has to be some probate, and you have to figure out who the heirs are. And so then it went to the boys, and she was a guardian for the boys. It did. It apparently did lose value. I don't know if from the murder or not, because I have no idea, but it was clearly a lost value from 08 to 15. And James gave us so insight. Thank you very much. He died in July 2014. And then they listed it, but it took her quite a few months to actually get it sold. And she used the realtor who called her when she was in the interrogation room with Craig Isom. So I'm going to let this slide one. Look at this, everybody. So when I look at a house, I really try to dissect it. This is a half bath. So it had a half bath downstairs. Look what was above the half bath. It's an owl. There's an owl above. It's an owl, right? Is that not an owl? Doesn't it look like an owl? Well, it's dark because it was like, remember, it was 1998 house. So it's like that mustardy brown color, right? And that's just the way it was. It's not my taste, but it was their taste. But look, and these type of light doesn't really do a lot. And she didn't use professional photos. But this is an owl. It's a sculpture of an owl. If you remember, she wore an owl on her shirt. I think Chloe's mom or someone pointed out that Brandeis University's, what you call it, is an owl. And Luis Rivera had a photo of an owl. It's an owl. And it's up above the mirror. You could see it right here. And then I zoomed in as far as I could take it. It's not a cat. There's a line. It's not a cat. These are the feathers. They come out here. It's not a cat. It's an owl. Because you can see like an owl nose right here. Wendi loves her some owls. It's not taxidermy. It's a half bath down. And then there's a full bath for the master, which is down. And then the boys' rooms were upstairs. Yep. It's an owl. When I looked in there, I was like, oh my God, she has an owl. I know. I couldn't believe it. It is an owl. And it's like the fat body. This is just the wings. No, it's a half bath. Yes. So I've not been in the home, so I don't know where the toilet is in relationship to the half bath. No, it wouldn't be. She's because I don't know what his will said, so I can't speak to it. But she's asking, wouldn't his sister, as the executor of his estate, sell the house? What am I missing? Because she was the guardian of the heirs, and it depends on how the will was written with the house, how that would have been divided up. It's an owl. I mean, I took it. I went in. It's an owl. And it could be, but I was like, Harvard Law School also has the owl. But I was still very quite shocked that there was an owl. I just thought it's a little odd. Yeah, you can hardly tell. It's just an odd house. Anita says, I think there are many layers of evil with this family. We've only seen the surface, right? Harvard does have an owl mascot, but this is an owl. I was like, of all things to leave behind as, come on in. Of all things to leave behind. How you doing?
All right. New year.
I'm on a call.
Oh, okay.
If you could just leave it with me.
I just needed it.
Thank you.
You're
Take care, Aaron.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
So it's first day rent drop off. It's okay.
Okay. Here, was I supposed to put rate or
Oh, let me see. Because you signed the back of
no?
it. No, you're fine. You don't need to. Oh, you're not supposed to sign the back of these, by the way.
Oh,
No, it's me.
Oh.
It's okay.
All right.
I took care of it. So yeah, I just wanted everyone to see this is an owl. I thought it was bizarre. No, it's just one owl. And then I zoomed in and then I zoomed in again, T. This was my tenant. A tenant. I manage a property. It was a tenant. So it's the first of the month. So he's dropping off his check. I did know. That's how I figured out that she wasn't that's how I figured out that she did not move back to her childhood home, that she moved to the continuum. And if you have watched, I think True Lifestyles just had a video on the continuum. I had a video on the continuum. So Deep Dive did a video on the continuum. We're going to go over her condo then, Sunny. Is sound breaking up? I hope not. I had somebody in here for a minute. It looks like it's attached to the mirror. Which is why I think it was left. Yeah, the house is worth money now. That was neither. That was a rent drop off. It was a rent drop off. Roscoe is not with me right now. But I thought you'd all find that interesting, right? The owl. So this is the living room area looking into the kitchen. This is the entry. And the kitchen is pretty humble, right? Well, thank you very much, Sunny. But this is the kitchen. And I like the beams. It's just to give you an idea. It was obviously vacant when they sold it. Beach Bum says, why didn't she just rent it out for a year, let the value go up? Who knows? I mean, there's no way to have known why. I wouldn't. Most people, she's in South Florida, right? She don't want to come back. So think about it from that perspective. She would not want to come back to manage a property. They just want to sell it and get rid of it, is my guess, but I don't know because I don't know her. I wonder if that owl was something special to Dan. I think there was nothing special for her in that house. That's my guess. I think she took whatever she wanted. You don't like a raised foyer? I do. I love it. It's the thing I like about this house, to be honest with you. Danica says, while a tree fell on the roof after Dan died, Dan was haunting Wendi too. Of course, the kids were safe. Yeah. I mean, the kids were already gone, but this was this was their home until they were like 3 or 4 years old. She wanted to cut ties. It's hard to manage property from 8 hours away anyway. Ruth said Dan had a clothesline from beam to beam for boys' artwork. Yeah, that would have been cute to see. There are agencies for that, but that doesn't mean you want to be bothered with it. And I don't know that owning it long term would have helped her situation. You know what I'm saying? They bought in 07 when prices were higher than normal. No. I mean, it was pretty typical for that neighborhood. Some of the other homes are big, but it is 2,500 square feet. And so this is the kitchen close up. It's nothing spectacular. It's quite humble of a kitchen. The mosaic, it's hard to say whether they did the mosaic or the mosaic was there. The appliances look pretty original. It doesn't look like they did too much to the property. Cabinets are small. They don't go the whole way to the ceiling. That's another look at, sorry about that. I meant to take that out. But that's another look at the living room. Like, it's pretty bare. And the fireplace is not really a good size for that wall. So this would have been the dining area. It was really just one big great room. That's the master bath. Wendi did want all things Markle gone. Well, she didn't make any money. The house was bought for $315. They sold it for $281. So she made no money on the house. She made no money, Nettie. It did not look child friendly at all. And wait till I get upstairs. So this is the master bath, which is down. And I think it's funny that there's like a towel rod inside the shower. It's just me. I think it's funny. And so that's the master bedroom with the wood. And it's like that Brazilian cherry engineered wood. It's not hardwood. Very dark. And this, I preach to people all the time about using a professional photographer because it does look so dark. It's not ornate. And that's why in our office, we stage our listings. Nettie says it's not very ornate. Y'all, bad news. Kawas is on the defense with Baez now repping Gardner in Jacksonville. You mean the one who did Catherine's? Oh Lord, good luck to her. Those look like prison bars on the bathroom. Well, it's to block the view, so they have glass block in the back. So you don't have to put draperies up. But to give you a little notice, This window block only lasts about 10 years before it starts to leak. Was not a track house. These were custom built on this street. They are not track. So this is the other thing, was not child friendly, right? So this is the second bedroom and the third bedroom. And then this is a landing between the two that separate it. So it's not child friendly at all. The boys are upstairs by themselves. And then they have this big landing and steps down. I was like, that's not. Oops, you're right. I'm delirious at this point, Beach says. I tried to sleep today. I still don't want to see or hear. We just have frosted out windows for bathrooms here. We have a lot of, in the 90s and early 2000s, glass block. It's the Courtney Clenning case that Tara Kawas is on in Miami. Oh, okay. Is she going to scream at them too? Because that's all she did for us, is scream at people. Not fancy at all. A starter house in a nice neighborhood. It wasn't about the house. It was about the location. It was about the location. And that neighborhood is about the location. Because even Mr. The gentleman who saw the neighbor next door, his house is a very simple home. It's not ornate. It's not upper crust. It's just where it is. A lot of moms don't like little kids upstairs. I wouldn't like it with that railing. I would not like it. I mean, they were babies. But it looks like she put new carpet down. Looked like new carpet. I wouldn't have trusted my kids sleeping upstairs. I would not have either. Oh, you're talking about the OnlyFans chick, Courtney Clenning. They just got charged because they hacked into his computer. Nobody can stand her. But I thought that was interesting. I thought you might want to see it. Most importantly, the owl. I thought, oh. Not that I'm trying to help my chickie poo out, but I thought it was really interesting. Let me show you. Yes, that would be accurate. If you let your kids fall down the stairs, it's your fault. So this is the courts at South Beach. This is where Wendi's current condo is located. Well, you're welcome, Brady. Kawash joined the OnlyFans case. I wonder why they picked her. You would think how much she ruined Catherine McVanoa. That's what I said, Miss Wee Lassie. Strange how the owl is the only piece of personal stuff that was left in the property when it went for sale. Yeah, that's what I thought. Everything is a code for these people. Can you please pull up the motion you posted yesterday? Yeah, hold on a second. I got to find it. It was because I did it at home. Hold on. Ooh. It was the answer to demand for discovery. So I'll put this over here. So this is the answer for demand. Her warrant. So he wanted a copy of the warrant. He wanted her passport. The property and evidence receipt, which would have been her what do I say, like her hoodie that she had on, or shorts, whatever that was. Her receipt for her property. So there might have been a receipt for the phone, a text photo. This is what I want. I'm going to do a FOIA on the text photo. Her notes, whatever notes were, the manifest for the above, and the FBI reports. There's 6 of them. 6. Do you see it, Chloe? Hey, Pepper, how are you? Yeah, Mona, it's all code. Everything is code. I don't trust anything with them at all. Courts for a condo name is appropriate name for Wendi. She will have her own court date. Well, thank you, Growler. That's very kind of you. It's very kind. It's very hard for me to take money for this fun stuff, but I will and give it to the appropriate people. I would love to have lunch with you. I mean, you probably wouldn't show up till 5 then, right? And still call it lunch. Antonio says he wants to have lunch, but he's Spanish, so it's never before 3 and never after 7. Oh, it's hard for you to read. So it says, let me get it to make it. Warrant, passport, property and evidence, a receipt for the property, a text photo. I'm dying to know what that is. Notes, manifest, and this 6 FBI reports. Brady wants to know what the code word is for life without parole. It's called the annex. Adelsons think they're so cool. Just your garden variety sociopaths. June fell for it and so many others. That money glosses over so much, right? It's so much. Yes, he is the only one on it. But I was looking at another case that was Alex Morris, who's supposedly the co-counsel. And it was a Daniel Tapping case. It was in 2008, right when I had just become a realtor. And Alex Morris was the co-counsel, and he was not on any of the notices like this. So I don't know if that's a Leon County thing. I don't know if that's a Florida thing, but he was not on he wasn't listed on these evidence demand for discoveries. AADD, they're called. AADD. Chris B says, Patty, I'm new to your channel. Really appreciate the work you put into your show. And James is a good kid. I am very proud of him. Thank you very much. I did text him today and tell him that I had his tax forms for his last job, and he hasn't responded yet, but I'll try him again later. But yes, this was the demand for discovery. So we can do a FOIA, pay for these reports, and see what they say. Intend to. I want to know what that text photo says. Wendy's HOA is 1318 on a 2-2. I think it really depends. Like, I did an average. Let me show you her property. This is called the Courts at South Beach. And from someone else, I saw one that was actually higher than 1318. I think it depends on the view and that whole thing. Nike tracksuit and Hokas. I have the same Hokas. Oh. Are they comfortable, T? Are those Hokas comfortable? Me too, Miss Wee Lassie. I don't know how many pages that is, but I'm going to have to think about it. Well, thank you, Pepper. They're not mine. I had them microbladed on, but thank you very much. I have them microbladed because my eyebrows are white and they're trashy. Trash is like my new favorite word. My eyebrows are trashy. And then I was calling something chowder. Like, I don't know why that, when my neck hurt, I was like, that looks like, I said, that's chowder. And I'm like, well, it works because chowder could be just about anything. I do intend to, True, go to the next hearing. My day is blocked off because it's like at 2:30 in the afternoon. So anyway, she lives the courts. It's 4 buildings. They're only 4 stories tall. To me, it looks like a glorified apartment complex, to be honest. But get this. So here's where she is. It's a short walk to the Icon. So the parents lived in the Icon until they bought their unit in Brickell. So they stayed at that 100 South Point for about a year, which is the one that was $13,000 a month. And then they moved to the Icon, and they were in 2 different stories in the Icon. They were on the 15th floor and the 26th floor. So it's like a 10-minute walk to the Icon. She bought it in March 4th, 21. It was 2-bedroom, 2 full baths, 1155 square feet. Donna and Harry and Harvey moved from the Icon to Brickell on 12/29. They closed on their unit in Brickell months after. I thought, well, that's a really short walk. I don't know Miami very well. The building description, it says it's amazing, right? Everything is amazing. They range from 800 square feet to 2439 square feet. Some of them are 1 bedroom. Some of them go up to 4 bedrooms, 3 bath. They have barbecues, billiard room, clubhouse. Pets are allowed, which they should be. You own the property. Maintenance includes all the amenities, so they don't lease back any of the amenities, which is nice. Lawn maintenance. I mean, it's a condo. It's not even a high rise. It's a mid rise. We call anything less than 6 stories a mid rise. Water, sewer, trash. These are the schools that are nearby: South Point, Nautilus, and Miami Beach. Oh no, beach bum. That's horrible. The manifest would have been a list of those items. So a manifest on a discovery is a list of everything. That's usually what a manifest is. True Lifestyle says, I hope our HOA goes up. I think it is up. I had to do an average because some of them were, even if it was a 2-2, depending on where they were in the building, were almost $1,800 a month. So I just took the average at $1,400. Whatever it is, it's high. Patty, can you ask James where Donna could be sent to, particularly if she's put in a similar at-risk category? I will ask him. There's only so many women's prisons in Florida. There's only, a few. There's the Women's Reception Center out at Northwest, which is where Charlie started out. There's Ocala. There's Lowell. She won't go to Lowell because Catherine McMahon was in Lowell. So I'll get a list for you. The homeowner's insurance down there is awful high. Well, the homeowner insurance in Tallahassee is really high too. In my little house, it's 1,100 square feet. It's $3,600 a year. So it's crazy. Wendi gets Social Security for the boys. Brady says $2,400 per month per child, $4,800 a month, plus the dance trust for the boys. Right. And she is working. I doubt she goes to the job 8 to 5, but whatever. Well, she may have wanted money out of the house, but she didn't get it. I know. I don't know where I came up with Trouter True. Like, I was just my neck hurt so bad. I'm like, that looks like, I said, Scott and I were talking about houses and like how horrible they were. And I was like, that was chowder. He's like, Patty, you don't feel well. I'm like, no. Your eyebrows moved. One is under my chin. Ah, bless it. Just me, Joe. Your eyebrows have not moved, but mine are microbladed. It's nice. Hero trash. So proud to be. Hokas are ugly like clown shoes, but I had ankle reconstructive surgery last month, says Summer. And surgeon told me to wear Hokas to help the surgery last. Wow. Good to know. Supposedly she requests money for room and board for boys. I don't know. I haven't seen anything from what I know. Oh, so I had a coffee with someone who is, if you look at Wendy Jill's Facebook, she's mutual friends with this gentleman I had coffee with. So I had to say, Ron, why are you still friends with Wendy? And he goes, oh, it was just this. We went to the same synagogue here in Tallahassee. I was like, oh. But he did say that his cousin lives in the same condo building as Shelley Markel's in-laws. And that Shelley Markel's, I guess her mother-in-law recently passed, maybe. But that's what he told me. I was like, so why are you friends with Wendy J? Wendy J. I love Amelia Island too, but ooh. Sounds like Florida is going to have to build new prisons to house all the Adelsons, right? They're going to be in all four corners. Like, dues include cable and Wi-Fi, so that's worth a couple hundred. Yeah, I don't know how much she's there. It's pretty good now. Thank you, T. I did not because I went to the doctor. And they told me not to put heat on it anymore, Bling. Bling said, did you order that pillow and neck pain spray? So I went and got a steroid shot, and that pretty much took care of it. It really helped the inflammation. And then I just tried to do neck stretches. Terry Max says, hey, Patty, catching live late as I'm just waking up. South Africa, I keep watching for her to be arrested. Well, wait till after Donna, at least till after she gets off the stand with Donna. But so far, we've talked about the house. So I showed everyone Trescott and the rooms that were available that were in our, that were on Realtor and Zillow and those kind of things. And I found an owl in the bathroom. That was interesting. I posted the discovery that I found yesterday. And this asks for the warrant, the passport, the property, evidence receipt for property, text, photo, notes, manifest, and FBI reports. So he got all those copies. Bless him. This is Trescott. So if you hadn't seen it, the thing that interested me the most was this. It was the owl in the half bath. It's a mess. It's an owl. It's weird. And so this is the building that she's in. It really is to me, and I don't live down there, but it's like a glorified apartment complex that they condoed. It was my first steroid shot ever, Bling. I've never had one before, and I needed it, and I was very happy. Wendy, yeah, well, she can't plead the fifth because she got an immunity deal. They just had to be very careful what questions they ask her. So this is, they call this the Grand Palazzo pool. There's 2 pools on the property. Very nice. That's what you're paying that $1,800 a month for. This is the entryway to her condo. So this is what it looked like when she bought it. So it's the prior listing out of the Miami MLS. So that's the entranceway. This is a very small condo. It says 1,155 square feet, but honestly, I think they're including the balcony. This is the living room. It goes out to this balcony lanai area. Very small, right? It's not big at all. And the tile, hopefully she replaced the tile because it doesn't look very good. Ceiling height's nice. So this is the kitchen. It's very tight kitchen. So you have your refrigerator, which is large, and then the oven door, range, cook, microwave, dishwasher. But this is a very tight space. Like you can see it back here. That's where the electrical panel is. That's what that box is. But you open this door, you are pretty much running into that countertop. Thank you very much, Mona. I am feeling much better. I won't do too many steroids, Antonio, because they came from my doctor, not from Charlie Adelson. But I do like the ceiling in the kitchen. It gives it a little bit more height. And there are a lot of cabinets. It's just very tight. So I call this, when I'm showing a home, I call this a one butt kitchen. It's not a two butt kitchen. She is making teenage boys share room. So this is the breakfast area, and then the view is the pool, and then you can see the ocean behind that. But this is a really narrow little landing, and then that lanai. It's very small. Right. I agree, hey Mona. That's why I think it's like a glorified apartment complex. That's about the size of my apartment, except these go for like $2 million. Oh, well, thank you, Antonio. Tasteless, tight, and boring. It is a prime neighborhood. But one was in there, just got reduced to 150,000. So they overshot their mark. Definitely overshot the mark. God, I did it again. They can't see the bedroom. I'm gonna have to go in and show you the bedroom picture. I don't know how I did that, but I did it. The bedroom is just plain. It doesn't show both bedrooms. It only shows the one, which I thought was kind of interesting. One bedroom, one bath. So this is the bathroom that's associated with this. The bathroom's big. The closets are not very big. And then that's the bedroom. That's the bigger of the two. So that would be hers. I saw a similar one in someone else's condo, and it was small, very small, almost the size of an office. Prime neighborhood for catching a wealthy idiot. Wendi was on the prowl. No, she bought it. It's in her name. She put about $200,000 down. It's mortgaged. It looks like somewhere you'd stop at for a 7-day vacation. Certainly not where I'd want to live. Oh, well, that's what you get for $600,000. I went to Palm Beach to buy silly summer jackets 4 times in the summer. The bathroom's bigger than the kitchen. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people who live down there, and I'm maybe Sunny can explain it better than me, but I just don't think they're down there cooking. She prefers her students, right? A raised bed. Now, this is not her furniture. This was the previous owner's furniture. But the bathroom's a nice size, double sink. This would be I call it a water closet, but it's the toilet, and the closet's on the other side. But the bathroom, I'm sure, has a nice view. Thank you very much, Paula. But that's all I have for tonight. I was just going to show you those 2 condos and Wendy's new job that I found. She's still a Ms. Such a shame crowding our boys in that small space when she could afford a nice house. Well, I don't know that they spent a lot of time there. They probably spent a lot of time at the grandmother's house. The bathroom was nice. The court's name is really funny. How many courts will she have to grace with her prison? I know. Well, thank you, True. And True, I was watching your let me get it up. There's a file. Let me get it. So here you can go. And like you mentioned on your video, you mentioned a gentleman by the name of Keene who'd been, they thought he was murdered. He wasn't murdered. They declared it an accident here. He was in the annex. His name was Jerry Keene. Jerry Keene, he was from Palatka, which is the other side of Florida, Flagler County. This was his number. We'll call it annex. So it ended up being an accident. But there were quite a few deaths in that annex. If you look, I was like, oh, this isn't good. We'll call it annex. Had 4 deaths in 2020 and 2021. Natural causes for Mr. Weir. Brian, this gentleman, happened to unalive himself. He was a young guy. I think he was bipolar. He was from our area. He was from Crawfordville. And then another one, Daryl Laurel. So the annex has had 1 natural, 1 accident, and 2 unalivings. That's for 90 people. You know, I don't know how many people total are in there, but if somebody put me in there, I would have a hard time. I would have a very hard time with all that noise. T says, thank you, Patty, for another lovely show. You may have to give me microblade tips. It really isn't. It's the person who does it. Because I would have caught a charge if somebody made me look like Ronald McDonald. So I was just very concerned, and I researched like I do, but I researched eyebrows. And I knew I wanted less is more. So I've had it done. The first time was like, well, I guess March. And then we did it again in August because Scott and I went together. And then I'm going to do it again. But then you got to be careful of scarring. So just got to watch your face. But yes, ask anything you want about my microblade. Her closet is small. She has to wear the same dress. It is. But she may not be a clothes horse. Like clothes may not, it may not be that thing. How do they, I don't know. He could have fallen. Could have fallen off that bunk. I don't know. But I'm going to look it up. There has to be more information. True says, you saw that report. How do they die on accident? I don't know. That's where I go back to my expert, James Greer. An annex does not look like it's conducive to longevity. I don't believe so. I would have a very hard time. Nothing compared to Fulton County, Georgia. Is that one worse than Miami-Dade? Sunny. Oh, nice. Great. I mean, let's see if they have another one for this most recent year. Is anyone, I mean, I wouldn't come for her I wouldn't drive in for her next hearing. I wouldn't. You just don't know what they're going to do. Inmate mortality, total. Manner of death, natural is most, then accidental, then homicide, suicide, and pending. Let's go 2023. Only one in 2023, and the name is redacted. So typically the name is redacted when it was a police officer or a sheriff's deputy. That's usually the reason. In Atlanta, so yes, it is the worst. Charlie will do well in prison if he could stay alive. I don't think he will. I don't think he's going to do well. If you look at Charlie's prison mug compared to a county mug, oh, he looks like he was about to go into a German camp. Like, he looks awful. He looks so thin. To me, he looked absolutely petrified. True Crime Wifey says she thinks the worst prison in the Panhandle is Santa Rosa. It's a beautiful county, though. I will ask James. It could be an accidental overdose. It could, like, yes, because you could hoard pills. Either one. Either one, just me. It could be an employee or somebody who was in protective custody had homicided. 2020. So there's more annexes. When I was doing this earlier, I was surprised there was more annexes. None in 2023. None. One accident in 16, a homicide in 17, accident. There's a lot of accidents. I'm going to have to ask the kid. Nobody I recognize. He looked absolutely terrified. He did. He's been tampered all over life, both sides of the track. So, and he doesn't have his, I mean, we all don't like her, but that was his mother, whether we agree with her or not, or, I mean, we know has huge issues as a mom and have no recognition of the huge issues that she has as a mom. But that was his mom. I mean, so even all these other people who were like Chris Watts had his mom there, you know, they're all nuts and had his mom. He didn't have his mom. I mean, he'll never talk to his mother again, and she's alive. It's crazy land. When will he break ? When he's at Donna's trial, will he ever give up on Wendi? I don't know. He looked to me like if he had something to give up more than what he already did, like if he could have given up something, he would have given it up. Don't you guys think? Like, I don't think so. He doesn't even look like he could be a hard ass getting his mugshot. I mean, he's like this. Like, please don't do this to me. Oh my gosh. To me, that's the stuff of nightmares going on in that annex. I don't know. If you haven't seen it, let me show it to you. He is a mess. I mean, he looks absolutely, wait, where'd it go? Petrified. Absolutely petrified. And you can see his rash. And then I asked James, I'm like, is that a dirty shirt that they gave him? And he's like, that's just what you get. Okay. Tia says, good question, Sonny. Miss Sweet Lassie says, I always laugh when I hear Maestro because that's the make of a car. Years and years ago in the UK, it was a cheap banger. He does look like it's finally hit him. He looks, Neely, he looks awful. I mean, and he should. I mean, I don't have a, but I think if he has anything to share, now would be a good time, Charlie. And then this says AX for Annex. Oh, duh. Oh. Well, he's kind of lopsided. So he's like standing like this. Like he's up against something. And he's like that. He's missing that good 5-blade razor, right? And he has the money. Go to the barber and get it done. Wendi and Donna all have giant earlobes, giant weird ears, says Sonny. Hey, Kaylin, how are you? I haven't been on very long. I won't be. Charlie is not as tough as he puts on a show. Nope. And this proves it, right? That is a mess to me. He is going to struggle. He is going to struggle. And I don't know how many months it takes for you to come to grips with the fact that you're never getting out. He did think he knew everything. He thought he knew what an extortion was like, right? He thought he knew that we were all inbreds who lived in the panhandle. Now the inbreds get to take care of him at the prison. Sonny says, aren't your ears handlebars in prison? He looks a lot less confident. He looks like there's a flash in his face and he's just like scared. Gosh, another Scott. Scott's born in Glasgow. Poetic. It is poetic justice. And YB says, I'm not fond of know-it-alls. It is poetic justice. It's a tough nut for him. He hasn't been there much, but he's not in confinement. So he can mingle. He can mingle. No staple cash and his steroids. His neck looks like, it looks filthy. It looks like right here, the lines, it looks really dirty. I wonder if Harvey's even looked at him. Charlie will finally realize, Miss Wee says, he's there for life when next Thanksgiving comes and there's no turkey and trimmings. He'd made fun of 3 jurors that probably never had a woman. He'll never have another one. Well, I have no comment on that. People he phones will be blocking his number because he is hard to take. Yeah. I know. I just don't plan someone's unaliving. I mean, you can't do it. I don't think Charlie will flip. Michelle says, I don't think Charlie will flip because he has rash burn. No, he doesn't have rash burn anymore. And so does Donna and probably Harvey too. Ain't nobody flipping on nobody because Charlie probably scores a 95% on appeal. Well, he no longer has rash bum. And I don't know how long it takes for those appeals to go through, but I don't know of a mistake. I don't know if Deep Dive Mentor Lawyer has done the appeal yet. He does look like he's seen a ghost. I bet he could not believe he's here. When I saw that he was going to be in McCullough, I couldn't believe it. When I got the notice on my phone, I could not believe it. They have to be. Sonny's asking, are they tapping Harvey's phone and is Charlie calling Harvey? They have to be watching him. They have to be. There's no reason not to. Are we going to hear Charlie's calls after Donna's arrest? Well, I believe they stopped releasing them. His trial isn't appealable, Wybie says. They just want his money. You only have so many days to file it, so... Rashbaum's LinkedIn profile picture is one of the funniest, right? It looks nothing like him. It looks nothing like him. I listened to an interview with an appellate. Where is that? I'm trying to. He hired. Charlie knows at best it'll be 3 years for the first part of the process. I believe Sigfredo's has already been declined and they're not doing anything with him. My mouse doesn't want to work. Charlie looks vitamin D deficiency. Well, he said on those calls to his cousin he hadn't had sun in years. So appeals can take years and years, but prisoner has to have money for repeat appeals. Yeah. Per my child, he said that they don't have necessarily phones through their tablet like they did in Leon County. They actually have payphone style phones. So it's different in Wakulla. I have a friend of a friend. Her girl works in, she does overtime in Wakulla. So this weekend she's going to be working there. So I'm going to try and get the down low on him because she'll be at the annex working. He claimed innocence at sentencing, so he has to appeal. And he did. He filed for appeal. Rashbaum will be called to testify. I don't think so. I don't think, because George is just going to let him do his thing. I had to think about that a couple times. Like, you don't tell a fool to be quiet. You let a fool continue to be a fool. Well, thank you, Mona, because some of these lines are very funny. I mean, they really are. People are very witty, and I love it. And that's why I do it. This is all so hard. These murders are so hard. I don't do the children murders. I will never do a child murder. There's other people that seem to be willing to do that. But I think you got to find a giggle in it. And there's so much of the giggle is in how dumb the criminals are. Ashley says, I wish somebody would go over a breakdown when Wendi was in front of the court and she stated that she used some money from a certain account just to pay the taxes on the 401k. I can go look for that. I'll write it down. Did she use some money to pay taxes? In Florida, like their primary home, which was the Trescott home, that did not require a tax bill. So because it was his home and it had not been rented, no taxes were to be paid. I bet he is absolutely furious, Kaylin. absolutely furious at Wendi. I think at some point, whatever stage of grief he's in, he's going to start getting angry. The appeal lawyer was on the lawyer yesterday. Couldn't talk specifically about his case. Oh, thank you. The lawyer Couldn't talk about his case. He was talking in general about the appeal process, about a year minimum. All Charlie Donna took your sunshine away, right? Rash suggested he not appeal and leave some money to his son instead. I guess he changed his mind. I think it's... I don't know. You got to have hope, maybe? I'm not a convicted murderer, so it's really hard for me to understand what goes through one's mind. He'll get some vitamin D soon. Well, they do get outside, so he'll be allowed. James talked about that in that meshed fenced area. He'll have a couple of hours a day that he could go out if he wanted to. That would be more money for Rashi's son. I don't know. Yeah. What do you think the odds are of Bree bringing him to Wakulla? Roman, what do you think they are? Oh, okay, Sonny. I can try and have somebody do that. There's a subscriber who her name's Dee. So she said she was going to help me edit because I need help editing. Charlie won't flip on anyone, and the rest of the Adelsons won't flip either. The Adelsons will paint the finger on each other. So, I'm a salesperson, and I like to call things look good, be great. So you have to figure out how if you want someone to lower their price, or you want someone to take less than what they thought, or pay more than what they thought they were going to pay. It's look good, be right. They want to make sure that they are getting the best deal. They want to make sure that they look good in the end, and that they were right about their decision making. I don't know how you can go on, or how that man's going to keep going, look good, be right, knowing he's only going to look worse every day from this forward. Every day forward, he's going to look worse. I just got it, True. Like, I literally just got the vitamin D. I literally just got it. I was like, sunshine. He'll get some vitamin D soon. I figured it out. I'm slow. That was a good one. She has a problem with using damn money to pay taxes for Dan's money. She is a sad person. Well, she's a lot more than sad. They won't blow up the prosecution over Rash testifying. They won't. The only blessing, I think, in having someone like an Alex Morris on is that he tries to get, from what I could tell, the few cases I've been reading on that he's been a part of, he tries to get people to take a little bit of ownership of what happened to get a reduced time. Donna is 74 years old in 4 days. And I don't know that, I think even if she took 10 years or 20 years, she won't make it that long. And to be honest, her dying in prison it would be a great thing for a lot of justice, but she's only got maybe 5 to 10 left, period. The rest is just semantics. Like, he's got those 60 years, and Charlie will have a meltdown when he sees Wendi with a tan and he's pasty. Oh, I think so too. I don't think it's going to go. Well, he has other cases. I know that's why he wasn't at case management, because he was on another case. 5 Cars asking where Alex Morris is. So I've been reading the transcripts of Daniel Tappan's trial in 2008, and he was co-counsel. So I've been reading that to see what's going to happen, how he handled himself, and I'll bring that to you. He's going to blame Wendi. I mean, he could. And in my opinion, allegedly, she has a lot to answer for. Ashley says, I'm sorry, but it can't come soon enough for Wendi to be arrested. She's at the final puzzle piece. She really is. That makes the whole murder conspiracy all. Because without her, there's nothing. There's nothing. Kaylin says Charlie doesn't seem to care about his son. Doesn't care about his son. Definitely not more than he cares about himself. No. I mean, that girl was on here last time defending Bree, which that's fine. I just don't see it. Things do happen in the yard. He always has black circles under his eye. Well, he has really black circles under his eyes. He has really, really black circles under his eyes. Look at him here. That is not the same person. Where'd the photo go? I lost it. I hate those pop-ups. God, it's so annoying. Even here. Not the same guy, people. Does he look anything like the same guy? Maybe he'll start talking to his fellow inmates. He can't shut his mouth. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. That he has dirt, that the other inmates hear something. That's what I was hoping for, Jay. Not a chance of bringing him Roman. I don't think so either. I don't think when she sees him like that, she'll be able to do it. Caitlin says Bree would. Interesting. I don't think so. I don't think she will. I think she's going to go out, I pray, and get a whole life for herself and make him pay. They said Wendi will testify at Donna's trial. Yeah, she'll have a choice. Maybe they won't end up arresting her after the trial. I hope as soon as she gets off the stand. Too many coincidences of her going home and cleaning out her childhood home. Dan left her a message that morning telling her exactly where he would be and when he would be back. Yep. He was living his best life, Dan was. So Jill thinks eventually Bree will bring Roman, but not for a while. She doesn't make the best decisions, so she definitely would, Caitlin says. Wendi said funeral cost was $15,000. Dan's checking. I forgot what Wendi said she paid the taxes with, but it was Dan's money. Nice. Of course it was. Yeah, it could be an end of the year thing. We'll look back and laugh. That does sound good. It does sound good, Sonny. Please do not bring that little boy to a prison. I know. Charlie needed DNA to accept child as his. Well, it also is a state of the floor. It's not really required. Like he could have said it's mine, but his attorney probably said get a DNA test. Kaylin says that mouth of his is going to get him in trouble. He won't be able to not talk about it. She does not live in the state anymore. Bless her heart. I'm glad. Lewis looked better on the last trial. He should have give Charlie some tips how to get in shape. I know, because that man is like, oh, it's a mess. He just doesn't look like the same dude, right? Does not look like the same dude. Charlie won't want to go outside. Accidents happen outside. Brady said. Sonny says, do you think they will hire a jury consultant? Either the son one. I do. I do think they'll hire a jury consultant. Why would you hire Rashbaum again? I mean, The whole thing is nonsensical, but that's what they're doing. I wonder if Charlie would have wished he got the death penalty instead of rotting in prison. The death penalty, you're by yourself. You don't have 80 other people up you. They want him in the yard. Pussycat says she's not taking a deal. He didn't even recognize his sister in court, which is really odd. I'm going to go look for Danny's book in the library because it's 96 on. Yeah, because it's for lawyers. They have more money than we do. Charlie YB says, Charlie said he thought his sister just looked like a hot chick in court until Rash told him that was his sister. The whole thing is twisted. Just Me Joe says, Patty, your machine. Reading this, researching that, road trips, working full time. I don't know how you do everything. Seems like a natural. Oh, well, it's not. I'm not a natural at anything. Everything I do is because I want to learn. I'm very learning based, but thank you for the compliment. I wish it was natural. It used to be when I was about 30 years younger. Now, it's not natural. But research does come natural to me, like finding the puzzle, the answer to the puzzle, which is why I chose cybersecurity when I went back to school. Charlie is gritting his pearly whites. Yeah, he's better. He looks awful. Someone did an age progression on Charlie, and that was wild. Really? I want to see it. I want to go back to see if I can find his prison thing. He just looks terrific. Charlie May, let me get out of this. Stop sharing. Charlie May might consider, oh no, I can't say that out loud, but yes, I get what you're saying. She's out looking for another guy with money. Well, she needs to. I mean, she got the billionaire. I don't know. How do you get someone to trust you like that with their money and their life and their reputation when you're up on a charge? How does that happen? Charlie needs some toilet wine so he will talk to the other inmates like Sigfredo. I think it's Catherine. I think it's just my opinion, but I think Catherine was the dirtier of the two of them. I think Charlie's evil and his mother, but I think Catherine is the one that did this. I think she's the one that, I think there's conversations with Wendi we don't know about. I think Catherine, the reason why she mumbles and fumbles in her proffers is because everything's a lie that she says. And I think he said, let's go rough him up. He's guilty of murder for doing that. But I think she was the one and was like, you need to go take care of that, Sigfredo. I honestly wonder if he has liver or kidney ailment with steroids. He could, but he has aged a lot. Toilet hooch. She might feel obligated to continue playing along to keep the money flowing. She could. If you Google images of Charlie, they come up. I think I tweeted them once before. I'll look. Thank you, Kaylin. Lewis is the real winner. 8 more years, right? Charlie has hair in that picture, but he was more bloated. He's not bloated right now. Bree applied for benefits from the state of Florida, and they make you name the father because they don't want to be the only one supporting your kid. That's true. That is absolutely true. I think every state does that now. Well, thank you, Brady. I've been doing it for a while. Now, I've been doing it on the radio, which is different. Now it's very different to be on the radio than this, but I enjoy it. Well, my daughter turned 35 today. And so I had to keep busy. Otherwise, thinking about how old she was going to put me in. Send Charlie in Seattle. He'll be turning moldy great. I know. I thought about sending, I found this book, where they put it. I like to read old like sales books. So I found this book at Goodwill Bookstore today. It's called Contact, the First 4 Minutes. And I thought when I'm done reading it, I'm going to send it to Charlie with a note. How to make friends in prison. The nonverbal handshake. The verbal bridge. Long distance, the telephone and the letter. This book was written, when was it written? 1967. The year I was born. So it's called Contact, the First 4 Minutes. I said, oh my. I paid $2.99 for it. It was $2.95 originally. I'm going to read it, take notes, and then send it to Charlie. Because I want him to be able to make friends, right? An intimate guide to first encounters. I thought that'd be hilarious. He does look awful. Charlie looks like Dr. Evil in his new prison pic. He does. Better than the arrest photo. That arrest photo was on. Your channel has become one of my new favorites, Patty. I'm in the bail bond industry, Kaylin. So I've always been into cases, but I love the nitty gritty, especially properties, since folks put properties up. Ooh. Anytime you want to come on and talk about real estate and putting your house up for bond, just ask. You might consider adding red light therapy to help your neck. Oh, well, thank you. But it is really much better. Thank you very much. So props to the state for at least trying to hold parents accountable, right? Katie's proffers are painful to sit through. I got a new computer. No, I didn't get a new computer, but I pumped another older computer up, and I have her proffer I've been working on. Just eliminating the filler words it's tough. It's really tough. I have to just get through it tomorrow. I'm almost done. Katie has no morals and she played Sigfredo. I do believe that. I do believe it. We are chatting, Antonio. She's a contortionist, Patty. Dudes dig the flexibility. Does Charlie get to moor his boat at Wakulla? No, he doesn't. He does not. I think Katie pushed the idea too. Thank you, just me. Happy birthday. Oh, well, thank you very much. She's a beautiful girl. She's got 2 girls. She's 35. Katie did it for Charlie. Sigfredo did it for Katie. And if you watch that proffer, it's part 2. It's on AA Legal Focus. And she's using Mentored Lawyers video. And she's sitting it's not the one with the window behind her. It's the one where she's in the cell. Tough. You grew really fast here. We like listening to you. Well, thank you, Pussycat. I don't know what fast is. All I know is I really like houses and I really like crime. So I thought I would mix the two. Prison food will help you lose weight. Charlie's used to going out for lunches. Now he's stuck. But I know they have to be putting something in it because they get so puffy. They get super duper puffy. It's just like when I was in the Air Force and they give the guys saltpeter so that they lowers their sex drive. I wonder if they do that in prison. I'm going to send Charlie chicken soup for life without parolers. Yeah, I would love to talk to you. I've always wanted to be a bail bondsman, like my other job. I've always wanted to be a bail bondsman. I love the idea of like going and catching the killers and then jump in bail. Like anytime, I'm going to message you, Kaylin. Oh, do you think? YB says, watch for Wendy's PR team starting YouTube channels going after Jeff. Well, I don't think that's going to work anymore. Charlie gives off ick vibes. Charlie needs a good bath. His neck needed a good bath. That's not about STDs, as is it? Because Charlie has that. Well, that's right. You said that. Charlie's bald head is his new disguise. He's going to get used to get out of prison because no one will recognize him. I would love to see that where you eliminate the fillers. Oh. Yeah, she is all filler. This is a great channel. Thanks, Patty. Well, thank you. Are the Adelsons related? You know, someone's asked me that before. She's asking, are the Adelsons related to the big money Adelsons who own Las Vegas hotels? I don't know, because obviously it would be Harvey's family. And I started working on their family tree. So I haven't gotten that far out many branches. Does anyone know? What? Did Katie get in trouble for that? Does anyone know if Katie has gotten in trouble for making out with any more female inmates since the last time? I don't know, but now I got to look that up too. I know her inmate thing, like her dated male and inmate. What the hell is saltpeter? Oh, bless you. Saltpeter. It's a mineral source, inorganic chemical that's soluble in water. But they believe that it would have a lower the man's sex drive in folklore. So in the did you ever watch the movie 1776 or the musical? And they talk about saltpeter. It was from the Revolutionary War times. It would, yeah, that is exactly Sheldon Adelson is what she's asking about, Marianne. Well, thank you. I'm not a veteran. I was in, but I'm not a veteran. I was not in long enough. And I did not serve in any wars. Other than I did serve in I had 3 kids in Afghanistan at the same time. That was serving. It supposedly lowers your sex drive. Correct, Sonny. Sheldon Adelson is big money in the J.O.B. I do not see a Charlie Adelson prisoner dating account yet. But where'd she get that photo of herself? That Catherine photo? What are the chances that Charlie end up matching up in the prison dating website? They're not allowed to mail each other. So if you look at that, where is it? Meet an inmate. Let me show you. When you look at them, because I was like trying to filter all of these inmates, all of the mail goes to a P.O. box. Every single one of there goes to a P.O. box. So if you look at this girl, it goes to a P.O. box. But there's really no way. It's a horrible website. But there's really no way to search. When you search, it's just stupid. Like takes you right to Google. It's dumb. It's not a well laid out. She's a foodie, people. Look at that. She's a foodie. They call her K, Special K. I call her a murderer. That's what I call her. Oh my goodness. If it is those Adelsons, then Harvey really is Fredo. Haha. I know your to-do list is getting longer and longer, Patty. I like it though. It is. Syphilis is as big now as it was in the 50s. Where I'm from in Pennsylvania, you couldn't get married the same day that you got your license. And you had to have blood tests done because they wanted to ensure you didn't have syphilis. I think Life saw the reports that said she got in trouble for kissing another gal. Nice. She was a repeat offender. She got in trouble with Miss Trinity. I'll have to go look at it. Thanks, Kaylin. True Lifestyle posted about a year ago. Why are they Miami-based? Well, this one says Tampa. Her occupation before prison, bartender. It skipped dental assistant, real estate assistant. Everything she does is a lie. Oh, that's why they changed her prison? Oh. No, you cannot have horny soldiers marching. That's accurate, Sonny. Thank you. That's what I was wondering. Can the inmates take photos or videos with their iPads and send an email and such? There were strict rules about how that goes, but I mean, hard to say. But that is not a recent photo. And here she's all like Susie Sally. No offense to Susie or Sally. Katie doesn't want to have a pen pal. She wants to get people to send her money. 100%. Live it up. She says, live it up like it's your last. Here she is. Activities in prison, working out and yoga. Can you receive email? Yes. Your release date, life. Now, she has education high school. I thought she went to college. Anybody? Didn't she say she go to college? Didn't she go to University of Central Florida? I absolutely think she's trying to get money. Oh, baby. Ooh. Look at her. There's a crucifix. She got a crucifix around her neck. She found Jesus. Patty, you're going to start getting strange ads. I know. Yes, it is bling. It is this. It is a nickname for a drug. Or K for short. Call me K. I'm originally from the Philippines. I love the beach. Katie could have walked if she'd ratted out the Adelsons. I know. But then she would have had to tell how deep she was into it. And that's why she has not. That's my belief. That's why she has not come out with the truth, because she's so deeply involved. And Siegfried isn't going to tell on her. Jill says, I still can't believe she didn't take the deal. I know. Her makeup looks better than LVD's Jolly Rancher lipstick. Those are Charlie's boobs that he paid for, right? With Dr. Boobner. Why would she bother with her before picture? They didn't work either. How they really are. That's why Katie didn't rat them out, because she's the catalyst. I agree, just me. Yes, true. Could you please, so I can watch it, please? She sure looks like a happy inmate. Lowell's lush. Lowell is a lush prison. It's also open bay, by the way. I was reading an article on in, I think it was the Miami-Dade. And it's open bay. Thought so. There's an article here from the Miami Herald, Beyond Punishment, Lowell. Isn't it weird that she didn't put her college degree on there? Right? Maybe she didn't expect someone to find someone looking for that. Did she actually get a degree, though? Or did she just go to college? All of her education has strangely disappeared. Has anyone ever found Wendy's OkCupid report? She did go. Sugar baby attempt. YB says. True says, yep, UCF. Is Wendy's new man? I do not believe that. She's asking, is it Jorge, the son of Mike Fernandez? Somebody said it's a real estate agent named George. And the picture of the gentleman that was at the synagogue for the mitzvah is not the same George Fernandez. So I don't believe it's the same. Ding gave her the money for the house, so she would not have signed off on ownership. She said she had a degree. She said she did. She did. She also said she didn't talk to Wendi. And guess what? She did. Folk on the outside could do better Google searches to double check on what fibs she might have said in her education. She had a Bachelor of Arts, Sonny said. He paid for one boob. Ketamine. Oh, thank you. Special K is ketamine bling. Thank you, hey Mona. Hey, at least paid for one of them. True crime, wifey says. I mean, she could have had it done in Mexico for half the price. So, Lifestyle posted a short about new evidence on text messages between Harvey and Charlie. Oh, that's exciting. I've got to be like a lot. Charlie will feel shortchanged because his boobs are now living miles away in prison. Katie paid for a C cup. Charlie wanted more, so he paid for a D cup. Okay. She left off dental assistant, real estate assistant, murder assistant. I mean, like, who says that? Like Scott, my business partner. He's like, Patty, people watch he said we have to watch Love After Lockup or Love Before Lockup. Just absolutely fascinating. Bling says, I swear she said she had a bachelor's degree in something, but I watched every trial, so I could be wrong and misremembering. I thought she said she had a degree from the University of Central Florida, which I think is what others are saying. But this woman cannot put a sentence together in a proffer. I can't remember, it's just really hard. It's just so traumatic. Like, it's just so traumatic. Like, Donna can't go there. Donna cannot go to Lowell. I can't get over inmates having tablets and now dating sites. I know. That's why I wish you could search. Like, you can't search in here. I was on here the other night trying to figure it out. You can't search for, like, I only want someone from Florida, like Tony from Florida. Tony looks like a dude, but Tony from Florida could really use a friend doing life. She's a certified dog trainer, willing to relocate, hoping for a future beyond release. Maximum release date is life. But you can't, like, search. Like, say I wanted just a Florida person. You can't search. And I refuse verify inmate. Oh, here maybe go. Oh, no, you're just verifying the inmate status up there. Is Meet an Inmate a dating site? It's a pen pal site, people. Don't even confuse it. Can inmates receive or make phone calls? In many institutions, they are allowed to make calls. They are collect and more expensive than regular calls. Can I email a prisoner? Yeah. How often are ads updated? 1 to 5 days of receiving a prisoner's ad. What is their corrections number? Can they receive gifts? Usually varies from prison to prison. Do you have any suggestions for writing prisoners? Be honest. You have one chance to make a first impression, and then you have this book. You have this book, Charlie, the book I'm sending you on contact. Can I write an inmate if I live outside? Yes. You have a disclaimer on me? Yes. We are dealing with convicted felons who are better at getting into your bank account than you are. It's something vague in a bachelor's. Well, to get a bachelor's of art, you have to write a lot of papers. And she can't put a sentence together. So I would like to speak to whoever gave her the degree. Her degree was in health services, and she's a murderer. Wonder who's Donna's lover. Donna is gonna find a big woman, take care of her. Brady, Hot Felons. Is that another book? I mean, not another book. Is that a site called Hot Felons? Why is this not clicking? Donna can be inmate coordinator, activity director, coordinator, medical administration degree. There's a degree in that? A 4-year degree, and she can't put a sentence together. How Georgia didn't leap across the table during those proffers, I have no idea. I don't either. I don't know how any of them. I know in this case, the agent Sanford got up and walked out. It's a lot. Donna will be a matchmaker. She could be. It is Cape Cod style, yes. The house on Trescott, yes, Miriam. From mischief maker to murder maker to matchmaker. Well, there's a hallmark. There's a hallmark video. Maybe someone should email her. I don't know. Are you, let me go back. You can tell I was looking for a leather case for my phone. Oh, it's hilarious. Look at this. Oh my God. Lonely inmates. Definitely looks like a dude. So you have to I guess I have to sign up. Hit me up if you have something interesting to talk about. And until then, live it up like it's your last. Stay blessed. Good God. I could just throat punch her. No offense, YouTube. I have a friend who was unfortunately... Oh, really? You sent... Oh, the friend, not Felicity husband. Yeah. Throat punch. Yeah. And they didn't give her half the books and magazines I sent her. I believe it. I wonder if it's because it had things in the magazine that you couldn't send. Does that make sense? Aren't there certain things they can't have? Florida Prison Mail magazine. This is what it says. Inmate receiving books or publications. Reading. The link's dead. Good job, DeSantis. Admissible reading material. They may be changing it because they're in session now. How to call an inmate. Click here for information about the phone system. Holy cow. Connect Network. Google Pay. Oh, I guess that's what Donna paid. As part of a new contract, inmate voicemail system will be enabled, allowing friends and family to leave incoming messages for inmates. This feature helps friends and family members stay connected even when their loved one is not available. The voicemail feature is PIN protected and secure. Friends and family can leave voicemails at a rate of 13.5 cents per minute. For you in the UK, it's 13.5p. Friends and family members also now receive an automated 1-minute courtesy call with instructions on how to set up their prepaid account. Is there free? There are. So every inmate gets 2 free 5-minute calls per month. The free calls are applied to the first 2 calls made by the inmate at the time the free calls are provided. They took away their good food. They took away their cigarettes. They took away their drugs. They replaced it with electronics. Well, they can control the electronics really, really well. I actually think your next job should be stand-up comedy. You know, from your text to God's ears. But I have absolutely no ability to write a joke. I have absolutely no ability to write a joke. I just don't. If somebody wrote me some and I stood up and tried to say them, that might be one thing. But otherwise, my biggest line is, that's what he said. That's all I ever say. I do believe Katie finished her education. No way. It's really hard. I mean, UCF must be a float school. Like, you must really get her. You must really just float through that Bachelor of Arts degree. I feel sorry for the inmate that Donna might pair up with in prison. Imagine having her as your roomie for the rest of your life. Well, she has a roomie in the jail, so that should be interesting. She does. And no one is getting jail calls, right? Like, no one has posted any jail calls at all. Anybody? I don't think the guy's mentor lawyer, no jail calls from Donna. I requested them with the FOIA request, but I haven't received anything back yet. I'm a real life penta. I've had 5 weddings happen for people I've hooked up together. Aw, so sweet. There's a whole new gig for you, Bling. I mean, I think they'll pay big money to get hooked up in prison. You and I should start our own. We should start a website that's more searchable than this. This is a horrible website. What's a penta? What's a penta, Bling? Well, I've never had a friend in prison, so I was clueless. Me either. I mean, I had a friend who got a DUI. He was in for 24 hours, but that was it. This photo looked like a woman being sex trafficked. Which one? This one? Or this one? All of these women are like chowder. They should have used jail bars instead of fencing. You know. Can everybody block those numbers? Yeah, we can block the numbers. Maybe Donna will be an advisor to inmates, telling inmates how to... Well, she's not the best mother-in-law, that's for sure. Katie might have gone to college, but did she actually hang around any of the classes? That's what I mean. It could have been the remote school where you just cheat and get your grades in. Is it possible to get access to the jail commissary? I don't know, but I'll find out. I'll ask James. I'll ask my kid. Maybe she got an associate's. Whatever degree it is, she can't put a sentence together. She can't. Your live chats are like chatting with a friend. Oh, well, thank you, Gabrielle. That was my goal. I said I was... Oh, Gigi said she was going to try and get them. I think they stopped releasing them, but I just wanted to see what that spreadsheet looks like. You had a sister in jail, but not prison. I have a nephew that was in both, but he's out. Chowder. Sonny says, don't they have to be released by the state for discovery to the defense, and then they're available for us? Yes. So I emailed the state's attorney's office because I wanted to know how to get a copy of the lease That mentor lawyer only showed the front page of the continuum. And I asked, and so she sent me instructions how to do it because I've never done it. And she said, I can get it. I just have to pay. So it's 6 pages. I'm going to pay for it. Yeah, I'm on night. Oh, a Yenta. Oh, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. You're on NyQuil. Are you sick? Chowder. I mean, look at this. Look at these chicks, right, people? I mean, I could do an hour's worth of show on this. Like, look at this one. Kaylee. How did Kaylee get these photos? Were these pre-photos? Does she have an OnlyFans in Bluntfeld, Tennessee? She's open. She's honest. She loves to laugh and make you laugh. She wants to build a new life upon release, to relocate. Not to Tallahassee. Don't come here. Oh, her occupation prior to prison is sales. You think? Good God. Add me on Securus mobile app and hit me up. Trash. It's all trash. Trash. I have nothing nice to say. She should hire Wendi to help her. Nettie, she went to community college in Miami before transferring, so no proof of graduation. Thanks, Dimmy. Am I saying that right? I don't know how to say your name. Even though she's divorced, she gets survivor benefits herself. It is whatever his SS would be. That's true if you are married over 10 years. Were they married over 10 years? That's only true if you're married over 10 years. 10 years to the day. I don't think they were. The woman behind the fence. Yeah, I thought so. Thanks, Sonny. I'm assuming Katie got her degree before Xanax ate her brains. Lying ate her brain cells. If Katie has a BA degree, she was given special dispensation. Well, maybe. She is an immigrant. Lowering standards in any way. The only friggin' shot I didn't... Oh, that's right. You told me. Was the pneumonia. I mentioned that you could have walking pneumonia, Bling. And I don't even know. I'm not a doctor. But the way you sounded, like with your chest, looks like a mess. It's like innocent Katie looks like she's been pimping herself out on the picture. Yeah. That's when she was with Charles. I've also put a request in, True, for Donna's, but I haven't received it yet. I'll let you know if I get it. Sales, what was she selling, right? Like she was trash. Absolute trash. You have to be married 10 years to receive survivor benefits, even if divorced. Everyone agrees. Hey, Moonchild, how are you? Yeah, so they weren't. I didn't think so. And I only learned that because my current husband, who's my second husband, his wife died. And they were married like 9 years and 8 months, and she divorced him. But when I applied for his Social Security on his behalf, because he's not very good on a computer, it asked that question, and that's where I learned about the Social Security. The boys will get Dan's until they're 18. Correct. And my favorite personal physician. Oh my gosh, Bling. I'm so upset. He's been my doctor for years. I don't know what I'm going to do. It's so hard. Like I see here in town, I see Paul Hartsfield and his nurse practitioner. And to me, it's like going to, I mean, they're probably my age, but it's like going to an old-fashioned doctor. Like they talk to you. They let you ask questions. I like him a lot. Paul Hartsfield. I mean, when I went in for my, she's like, do you need images? Do you need this? Do you need, like, she asked questions about my neck. When I was trying to lose, I did lose weight, but when I was losing weight, she sat there and listened to me. It was really nice. It's hard to find a good doctor. It really is. You're going to find a new doctor and do it soon. Yeah. I mean, you really need to find, even if it's a nurse practitioner you like, you don't always have to see the doctor, but somebody who's going to listen to you playing. Because when you said your lungs hurt that bad, that's what made me think you had walking pneumonia. He would spend so time. He traded our entire family. He was so smart and all the business he had to go through. I know. Referrals and insurance. It's a lot for these doctors, and they're changing all the coding systems for insurance now. It's a lot. Well, I'm going to go. It's 2 hours. I really appreciate you. I hope I was able to give you a giggle. This trash heap right here just irritates the shit. If she has one happy day in prison, it's one happy day too many. That's how I feel about that trash heap. 15 minutes. Well, I'm pretty succinct. Maybe it felt like a long time. But usually when I go in, I'm a nurse. My history as a nurse. I'm pretty much into it. Have a great night. You too, Bling. I'm glad I caught your whole life. I do giggle and laugh, but again, I pray that she has a miserable existence, and the fact that she's smiling at all is kind of irritating me. Bye, Miss Wee. Have fun. See you in the UK maybe someday. You guys have fun. Well, my daughter is in Pennsylvania, so I'm just going to call her and do a little FaceTime maybe. A bank account? He should be able to. He should be able to set up an account in prison. Thanks, Glamis. Have a great night, everyone. Kaylin, I wanna get up with you if that's possible. Bye, Sundance. Have a great night. Bye.